If you're a coach, consultant, or agency owner, then listen up, because most business owners make this one common YouTube script writing mistake. And if you make it, then your videos won't get views and they won't get sales. I've helped clients get hundreds of thousands of views and high ticket sales, and I've written for big brands like HubSpot. And what I've noticed is that the top 10% of business owners on YouTube fix this obvious mistake, and they get more leads and more booked sales calls, and they make 90% of the money while everyone else falls behind. But first, what is this YouTube script mistake that is killing your sales? Jake Paul is a YouTuber, and he's been on this boxing journey recently where he fights professional MMA fighters with 10 to 15 years experience in fighting. But for some reason, Jake Paul, who's been training boxing for 3 years, is able to consistently beat these MMA fighters. Why is that? Well, although MMA and boxing might seem quite similar, it's a combat sport. They're very different skill sets. So Jake Paul has 3 years of experience in boxing. Meanwhile, these MMA fighters have 0 to 3 months boxing. And that is why Jake Paul beats them. It's like having a tennis player learn how to play basketball. Maybe not to that extreme, but pretty similar. When it comes to your YouTube scripts and choosing your target audience, you have to do something similar, because if you write a script and you're speaking to one specific type of viewer, that script is always going to outperform the YouTube script that speaks to every single person on the internet. Every single time this is the case. So you need to niche down your messaging when writing your script. That's why we make sure our clients always write with the right audience in mind so that their videos attract viewers who actually want to buy. But if you want me to help you build an AI script writing system for your business, then click the link in the description and we'll hire and train your writers. We'll build the custom SOPs and the AI prompts that they follow, and we'll set everything up so your scripts get written without you touching a Google Doc again. That way you can save 5 to 10 hours per week to focus on your business while your scripts are written to turn viewers into sales. Once again, the link is in the description. But going back to why you should target a specific audience, and I get this question a lot from my clients. But Iman Gadzi and Alex Hormozi, they make videos for everyone. Why can't I do that too? Well, it's because these guys didn't start that way. Iman Gadzi actually started with social media marketing agencies, and Hormozi started with gym owners. And they mastered that one small market first, and then they moved into the mass market. If you try to go mass market right now, then you're competing against giants like these, and you can't win that game. You're better off picking a small group and becoming the king there. And the reason that is because of this. Let's say you have a bottle of water, as we can see right here. And that bottle of water has 100 milliliters of liquid. Let's say you have 2 options. You have 1 glass. This represents an avatar or a target audience. And you have 3 glasses right here, which is 3 different target audiences. You only have 100 units of energy in this bottle, or 100 milliliters. So let's say you pour it into this 1 glass. You can pour it all the way to the top. And when you do this, you understand this one audience group super well. And because of that, you can write content in a way that makes these people want to watch. But let's say you're trying to target 3 different avatars. You can take the same units of energy and spread it across 3 different glasses. And when you do that, you're targeting 3 different groups, but at a very shallow level. And so your videos and your YouTube scripts, they're not going to resonate with anybody. And so nobody ends up watching. That's why it's always better to niche down and focus on one specific audience. Because of that, picking the niche is very important. Because when you pick the wrong niche, you can get a ton of views, but none of those views will turn into sales. You get a bunch of sales calls, but they're from all the wrong people. And I made this mistake myself, and it almost killed my business. Back when I started Luke Scripted, I was doing freelance writing as a script writer. And so I thought, let's make a YouTube channel about YouTube script writing. So YouTube script writing was the topic that I based my videos around. All my video ideas came from the topic of script writing. The thing was, out of all the people I worked with, most of them were business owners who helped a specific group of people solve a problem, and they wanted to make content around that problem to get clients for their business. Thing is, when I made videos about script writing in general, I attracted everybody from content creators, entertainment channels, vloggers, YouTube automation channels, even freelancers who were trying to learn script writing so that they could offer it as a service. And so I got a bunch of people on calls who weren't the right fit for my services, which were YouTube scripts. So the mistake here is that I chose my video ideas and my messaging around the topic of script writing rather than the group of people. And so I ended up attracting a lot of viewers that weren't the right fit. So that was the main mistake. It was focusing on the topic rather than the audience. But here are 6 more big mistakes that people make when choosing who their content is actually for. The first one is worrying about expertise. You don't want to stress about not knowing enough when you pick your niche because you don't need to be an expert on day one. If you study your audience and you talk to them and make videos for them, then you learn what they care about pretty quick, and the skills they grow over time. Learning a niche is the easy part, actually. Finding a niche with real problems and real buyers, that is the hard part. The next thing people worry about is the competition. You don't need to worry if other YouTubers are already making content in your niche. And that's actually a good sign because it means the audience is alive and hungry. If you see a fish pond and there's no fish in there, it could mean that the pond is poisonous. That's why there's no fish there in the first place. And the truth is, most of your competitors are not consistent, they're not good at scripting, and they're not clear on their audience. Only a tiny group is actually good. So if you make great scripts that solve real problems, then your videos will stand out on YouTube. The third mistake is worrying about saturation. You don't need to do this because niches, they don't get saturated. Bad content does. If your videos sound the same as everyone else or you copy what others do, then yeah, it will feel crowded. But if you have a clear angle, a clear audience, and your scripts speak directly to your viewers, then you will always have room to grow. Positioning beats saturation every single time. The fourth thing is being a copycat. People always say to take inspiration from other creators, and that is true. It helps you skip the stage where you just throw a bunch of random stuff at the wall, but there's a danger with this approach because if you copy someone too closely, then viewers will always choose the original creator. And this is because they're more experienced, they know the niche better, and their scripts will hit harder, so you need to find your own angle, not just brand new ideas. And one of the best ways to do this is to take ideas from other niches and then mix them in with your own. That's how you stand out without starting from scratch. Now, the next mistake is thinking that you're stuck in your niche. Now, while you should stick to one niche long enough for your scripts to work, but you don't need to be stuck in that niche for life. Let's look at some examples we talked about earlier. Alex Hormozi started with gym owners, then he expanded. Iman Gadzhi started with SMMA, and then he expanded. They didn't begin mass market. They started small, they got really good at that audience, they built trust, and then that's when they moved wider. Your path will look the same. You start focused so that you can grow faster and build up an audience, and then over time, once you max out that market, that's when your niche can naturally pivot and expand as you get better. And then lastly, it's just being indecisive. The worst thing you can do is just waste months thinking about your niche. So just pick one, test it, make videos, get data, and then you can adjust and move from there. But next up, let's talk about hiring and building a team. And this is where things get pretty funny because most business owners think they have a script problem or that their writers suck, but the real problem is in the raw material that they're building the script on. So just to give a little analogy so this makes more sense, it's like giving a world-class chef the worst ingredients in the world because no matter how talented this chef is, the dish will turn out bad. Okay, it's the same thing with your writers that you're giving information to. And there's a quote from Warren Buffett that says, "It does not matter how hard you row, it matters what boat you are in." When it comes to training your team, you need to have good raw ingredients for the writer. This includes a detailed audience avatar. That way your audience actually knows who you're writing for. And like we said earlier, the thing that matters the most is the audience avatar. It's that niche. Because you can have a great writer and you can give him bad starting material. You just give him a video title and that's it. And you expect some legendary script, right? A great writer with a bad avatar, you're going to get a horrible script. A bad writer with a great avatar will write a decent script. That's why you see business owners blow up out of nowhere in specific niches because they're an expert. They don't have all the copywriting hacks and all the little retention tricks, but they just know what they're talking about and they understand their audience and their channel blows up. The thing is though, when you combine the two and you have a great writer with a great audience avatar, then you will write amazing scripts. So that is why audience avatar is key. But speaking of avatars, this is why most people get stuck. So if you want help building a super clear, dialed in avatar that your whole team can use, then I can build it with you. Just click the link in the description and you learn more about how we can help. But what if I told you that the niche that you picked might be the reason why your business isn't growing? Here's what I mean. Because you might even be getting views and subscribers, but none of them will ever buy from you. And this was the mistake I made when I was starting out. Because when I first started on YouTube, I made affiliate marketing videos, but all the messaging in my videos spoke to me at the time. So because of that, it got a lot of views because I was talking to a specific type of audience. I was a college dropout at the time, so guess what happened? My whole audience became broke college kids who had no money. And they loved the videos and the messaging resonated super deeply with them, but none of them could buy anything that I sold. So I was getting views, but I was still not making any money. And so the lesson here is that you have to pick your niche on purpose, not by accident, because the people you attract can decide how much money you can make from your business. So how do you know if you're actually targeting a good audience? Well, I made this quick checklist that you can use to figure out if this audience is someone who you actually want to speak to. Now, there's two types of questions. The first one are keystone questions, and these must all be a yes. If even one is a no, then this audience targeting in your scripts is not going to work. So the first thing is this niche growing? Are more people joining the space or at least not leaving it? So for example, if you're in the newspaper niche, it's probably not a good choice. But the AI niche is a very good choice. Second thing is, do they have real problems worth solving? Is there something painful or annoying that these people want to fix? If yes, then you have an opportunity here, because these people will be actively searching for videos on YouTube. Number three, can they afford to pay? Do they have enough money to buy something that could solve their problems? Number four, is the audience big enough? If there's 20 people in your niche, then there's not going to be an audience to watch your videos on YouTube. Number five is, are there other businesses already helping them? If yes, then like we talked about earlier, this is a good sign because that usually means that this group is alive and there's an audience. And then lastly, can you find these people online? If these people aren't the type to be watching videos on YouTube, then there's no point writing YouTube scripts and making videos because they're never going to watch it. But even if you have all these questions answered, you might not succeed in this niche if you don't actually enjoy the niche. And so that's why we ask a few more questions. And the more of these that you answer yes to, the better. So the first one was, can you find these people online, which we already went over. Second is, does this group actually interest you? If you enjoy learning about them or helping them, then you're going to succeed. If it feels like a chore and you don't actually care about this niche, then you're going to find it tough. Next thing is, do you understand them a little already? If you know what their life is like and how they think, then a lot of the messaging in your script can be very specific, right? You can use the same inside jokes, stuff like that, and speak very deeply to this audience. And your scripts are just going to be better because they're less vague. Next, have you ever been a part of this group? If you are the target audience, then you're the perfect person to write to them. And that's why when you try to hire writers and freelancers, you might notice that you get back scripts that just sound like AI fluff. It doesn't actually mean anything. It's super vague. And that's because your writers don't understand your niche. And because of that, they can't write well. And so you end up rewriting everything yourself. There's ways to fix this, which I'll go into later. You can build systems where your knowledge is actually transferred to them. We can build avatar manifestos and things like that. But moving on to the next one, do you like the people in this group? This one's obvious. If you enjoy talking to them, then you can learn more about this group and write better scripts for them. Next, does this niche fit your values? So let's say you are writing scripts for plastic surgeons, but you're super against the plastic surgery industry for some reason. If that's the case, then you're going to hate writing these scripts and you're just not going to do well. Next, do you have the skills that could help these people? This one's obvious. If you are knowledgeable, then you're going to have better value in your content. You're going to help more people, and your audience is naturally going to gravitate to your content. Next one is, have you solved a problem that they have? If you have, again, you're going to have the knowledge. You can teach what you learned, and your content's just going to be way more valuable. And then next, do you have extra skills that help you learn faster in the space? So to give an example, let's say you went to film school. If you were to provide video editing services for business owners, let's say, because you went to film school, you have a basic understanding of editing, and so when you start learning about editing, you're going to have some knowledge that could help you have an advantage over other people in the space. So if you answered yes to all the questions we just went over, then you're probably in a good niche. But the thing is, nothing will kill your channel faster than this one other mistake. And this mistake could force you to rebuild everything from scratch. So to use my own story, I talked about this channel in the past. I ended up quitting this channel because of this very reason. Because at the time, I was just documenting different business ideas I was messing around with as I was new to entrepreneurship. And so I would naturally, as any entrepreneur getting started, you're going to jump around between different business models. So I did affiliate marketing. I started Instagram pages, drop shipping, YouTube channels, TikTok. I did affiliate marketing. I tried starting a marketing agency, did freelance work. I even tried to become a professional sports bettor. Okay, so we did it all. We tried everything. And because I kept switching to different things, the topics of my videos kept switching as well. And so my audience became a mess. I ended up segmenting into like 5 different audience groups, and everyone wanted something different. And because of that, my views tanked because I made a video about YouTube Shorts, let's say, I had a big chunk of affiliate marketing viewers who wouldn't click on that video, and vice versa. And so my CTRs dropped, my audience retention dropped, and the channel just kind of started to die at a certain point. And so I jumped ship and I started a new channel, and it's the channel you're watching on right now, the Luke Scripted channel. And on the very first video, I got very lucky and the video just blew up for some reason. I kind of realized that when you stick to one niche, the YouTube algorithm shows it to that one audience. And so your viewers are hyper targeted and all the stats like CTR, watch time, is going to be higher. So in your videos, when you're trying to speak to a specific niche, you want to keep that consistent across your channel, because once you start talking to agency owners in one video, SaaS companies in the next, and then you start talking to dentists and roofing companies, you're just going to segment your audience and it's going to be too chaotic. So stick to one thing and then focus on that. And when you do this, you also just get really good at understanding that one group. You get good at speaking their language, so you learn all the jokes that they use, the relatable memes, different pain points, the content that they watch, what they care about, things like that. And that's why I've been sticking to the same niche. The niche is basically myself, and that's why I'm able to do it. And right now I have a 20-page Google Doc just diving into my avatar, everything about them, the type of videos they watch. And so the deeper that you know this one audience, the more you can stand out from other creators in your niche. Now, some little rules. Once you do choose your niche, just do not switch from it unless it fails the good niche checklist that we went over earlier. If you keep jumping to new markets, then you end up with a segmented audience, everything's scattered, and it gets very tough to grow. Now, earlier I said that your YouTube videos should be written to make more sales. Well, I've written over 1,000 scripts, and I've noticed that there are 4 main reasons why most scripts don't make any money. So if you want to fix that, just watch the video up on the screen right now. I'll put it up here for you to click. Just go check it out. You'll find it very helpful.